Alakar, Anita John, Lakika Cassetti, Camden Kay, Tori Kerner, Mia LaPenta, Johnny Lapsley, Jeffrey Lyons, Jackson Matthews, Isabel Miller, Tyler Morgan, Mackenzie Mozo, Bryson Peterson, Stone Pillsbury, Ainsley Reed, Soraya Romali, Rodrigo Rojas, Taylor Silkert, Amaya Sowell, William Wenzel, Lawson Windsor, Marion Winters,
With a quorum being present, is there a motion to approve the Journal of September 11th, 2024 as found online? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. We are now in line for general orders of the Senate, beginning with reports from Senate leadership. Speaker Pro Tempore Byer, you are recognized to give a report on the Rules Committee. Can the record reflect that she is now present as well?
Just in time. Thank you, everybody. Sorry I was late. The traffic is really bad. But I actually ran here. The Rules Committee met this Sunday at 5:30 on Teams, and we went over one piece of legislation which was found unanimously favorable and which will hit the floor today. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The Speaker Pro Tempore yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Please go get a drink of water. We'll now hear a report from the Academics Committee. Is there anyone willing to give a report on the Academics Committee? Seeing none, we will now hear a report from the Finance Committee. Chairman Wenzel, you are recognized.
Hello, everyone. Finance Committee met this Friday, 3:30, as per usual. Normal session, just reviewed allocations. We'll be extending the nomination for the new comptroller another week. I want to congratulate everyone in my committee. They've been doing a great job of getting the ball rolling and being efficient and diligent in this process, so I want to congratulate them on that as well. With that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now hear a report from the Health and Safety Committee. Chairman Gruner, you are recognized.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Health and Safety met virtually at 4:30 p.m. Last week. We continued to work on our Girls Just Want to Stay Safe health initiative, which is currently being headed up by Senator Blanton. So huge kudos to her. She's been working really hard on getting that set up. We're also in the process of our research phase regarding a Darla-Moore door lock timing. When we're actually going to be going out and doing a survey tomorrow to go check which doors are locked and unlocked after 6 p.m. And that'll be following our health and safety meeting. And finally, kind of what was mentioned as well in the SG-Wide yesterday, currently Jordan Barr's initiative, we're actually going to be doing a tabling event for domestic violence in correlation with his fraternity as well. More details to roll out on that in the future. And with that, I yield the questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you. We are now in line for a report from the Inclusion and Equity Committee. Chairwoman Cassetti, you are recognized.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are having a nice week. But Inclusion and Equity met yesterday at basically Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and we discussed some initiatives that we are planning. We are thinking about revamping a multicultural org initiative that we were thinking about, and more information will come on that. And we're also working on an initiative for encouraging undergraduate research involvement among students. So these are some things that we're working on and planning, and more updates will come. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairwoman yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Judiciary Committee. Chairman Kay, you are recognized.
Good afternoon. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, and if you went to the game, I hope your weekend got better after that. Sorry. That being said, Judiciary did not meet this week as we had no matters on the agenda. Although I will use this time to talk about the other committee that I'm currently running, the ad hoc one for code reform. As mentioned previously, this is restructuring our entire codes. We didn't meet this weekend either because I got sick because of the game, so a double whammy there. But for those who are interested in writing bills or is interested in our code process, we will be going over Chapter 4 this upcoming Sunday and starting to write some legislation on making sure that that chapter is up to our standards. So if you are interested in that, feel free to join when the motion period occurs. Or if you just want to look and see how legislation may or may not be written, uh, you can also come. It's Sunday at 7 o'clock, so if that works with your schedule, have fun. With that, I'll yield.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Academics Committee. Chairwoman Anderson, you are recognized to give a report.
Sorry, y'all. I had a pop tire incident today, so clearly don't have my life together. Academics met Monday at 7 p.m. and couple updates. We're having meetings with the Office of Student Advocacy and then the Student Disability Resource Center, just to kind of talk about ways that we as student government can support them. We also, each of the senators on my committee has individual initiatives, such as in the J School with study spots, professor panels, and other things like that. So there'll be legislation coming with that in the next couple weeks, along with some FROCO legislation that should hit the floor next week. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairwoman yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Chairman Kay? Already reflected. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Powers and Responsibilities Committee. Chairman Pillsbury, you are recognized.
Hey everybody, I hope you guys had a great weekend. The Powers Committee met this past week to interview a vacant Senate seat candidate whom we found unanimously favorable. And that is all I have to report. I yield my time for questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Student Life Committee. Chairman Barnes, you are recognized.
Afternoon, everyone. Student Life met at 7 on Monday in the LSC. We had another super productive meeting where we all began working on our individual initiatives and reaching out to various faculty and staff. We're also in the works of developing a committee-wide event that's going to take place towards the end of the semester. More details will come with that next session, so we can figure out a little bit more about that. Outside of that, today I met with the Director of Operations, the Assistant Director of Occupancy Management, and the Student Disability Resource Center Director to discuss collaborative initiatives regarding both offices with housing and the SDRC. This was super productive and a great conversation, and legislation regarding this will hit the floor next week. With that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Sustainability Committee. Are there any senators wishing to speak? Vice Chairwoman Gay.
Hey y'all, so Sustainability met Monday at 6 p.m. We just kind of went over some initiatives that we're working on about contacting the VP's branch concerning promo videos for sporting events about recycling. Next Tuesday, Senator Kerner is meeting with Larry Cook concerning recycling electronics across campus. We discussed contacting the RHA over creating more sustainability within campus housing and reducing energy use within the dorms, and the possibility of incentivizing frats to recycle at the lots. So I yield my time.
The Vice Chairwoman yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Freshman Council, where representatives from Freshman Council come on down. Don't worry, we'll clap after too, so. So exciting.
Hello everyone, my name is Chandler Lawton and I'm a part of FROCO. So this past Friday, September the 13th, we had our first unofficial freshman council meeting. It was considered our freshman mixer, and we basically just got to learn about each other's interests and backgrounds, and we also were introduced to the idea of what exactly student government here is here at the University of South Carolina.
This past Monday, we hosted our first official meeting of the year, whose purpose was to get us introduced to the organizational structure of student government and a freshman council. We discussed the goals of the freshman council and the organizational charter of student government, including the 4 executive offices. We also discussed Senate seats and Senate functions and how they're open meetings. Patrick, who is our director, encouraged us, our freshman council members, to come to these open meetings to see what we're interested in and possibly reach out to committees of interest to see what those function like. We also reviewed the cabinet positions in student government and their responsibilities. We also discussed we also briefly went over how Senate elections and appointments work. More info will be coming about that in the spring when re-election comes up. We also went over some upcoming events for the freshman council and the 5 committees, which are modeled after the Senate committees. Those being health and safety, student life, academics, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and sustainability. We also laid out the rest of our September schedule. We'll be meeting this coming Monday. We'll have our professional development retreat on the 29th, and then we'll be having another professional development session and the intro to our mentor-mentee program on September 30th. We also discussed the 2024 Get Out of the Vote initiative that student government is putting on, and we also made sure that we were all registered to vote.
Do you guys yield your time to questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any questions for the representatives? Seeing none, can everyone give them a round of applause? Good job, y'all. I know we're kind of scary when you meet us for the first time, so. All right, moving on, we will now hear a report from the Constitutional Council. Chief Justice Biekmeyer, you are recognized.
And we're back. Not much going on with CC. I would say polling the group morale's probably high, but not super high. And with that, I'll yield to questions.
The Chief Justice yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Vice Chairman Matthews.
Well, I think exam season's coming up, and it's starting to take a toll on some of our dear law students. A lot of reading involved, so I think it's just they might be falling asleep in their free time.
Are there any other questions for the Chief Justice? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank y'all.
We'll now hear a report from the Speaker of the Student Senate, Maura Hamilton. Maura Hamilton, you are recognized. Surprise, I'm back. Sorry that y'all didn't get to hear from Emmy this week. A few quick things from me. First off, just wanted to say thank you to my amazing staff and all of y'all. You guys have just been like rock stars the past few weeks. I mentioned that I really wanted a soda today, and somehow I ended up with a Diet Coke, a Dr. Pepper, and a Diet Pepsi all here by my side. So thank you, everyone, for that. I'm going to be hyped up on caffeine for hours. But otherwise, just a few quick things. Just reminders about business professional. Make sure that we're wearing jacket and tie if you're a guy. Girls like a nice blouse and slacks. Otherwise, I just had a few meetings this week. On Monday, me, Pat, and Courtney, our chairwoman of academics, Lauren Anderson, and then our cabinet deputy secretary of academics met with President Amaritas and the provost. We discussed some of our academics initiatives. I'm sure Patton will speak more on that. And then yesterday before SG-Wide, Pat and I also met with the student president of Uncensored America and the founder as well, just to discuss the finance allocation that was denied. But other than that, I yield my time to questions. Does anyone have any questions? Vice Chairman Matthews. Yeah, they just wanted some clarification on Senate processes and how it works. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. We are now in line for a report from the student body treasurer. Treasurer Jacob Vaught, you are recognized.
Hey y'all, we have 15% of the budget request. No, 50% of the fall budget already approved, and we have about 28% requested. 3% of the spring budget's been requested. 2% have been approved. Again, if you have any orgs that are looking for funding, feel free to let them know and contact me or a comptroller to get more information. And then our internal budget's also at pretty low usage right now, so feel free to contact one of the execs if you have an initiative or an idea that you'd like to get funded. And with that, I yield to questions.
The student body treasurer yields its time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We're now in line for a report from the student body vice president. Vice President Courtney Tax, you are recognized.
Hi, friends. Okay, so you guys are going to hear just a little bit of kind of what I talked about last night at SG Wide, but it is just a reminder. Thank you guys all for coming, too. We really, really appreciate it. So for our walkathon, I have some more solidified details. So I'm super excited to get everyone involved in this. I hope that you guys all come out for it. It'll be October 6th, 2024, obviously. From 3 to 7, all money will be going to the JED Foundation. So I'm really excited to get some stakeholders into this, especially KKG. That's their national organization. There will be concessions, live music. There's going to be a live band, so I'm really excited about that. There's also going to be t-shirts, and it's going to be $5 to register. So you can register as an organization, but each person that wants to register under that organization, it's a $5 fee, and then you can raise money from there. Also, kind of along the lines of Stigma Free Week, we're going to be offering a free Group X class. More information to come as to what Group X class it is, but we're going to have one. And then we're also going to be catering free 7 Brew coffee during our Coffee and Counselors programming event, and it's a partnership with the Center of Health and Wellbeing. They're going to bring their counselors out so you can get a coffee and complain about your day. That'll be Davis Circle from 10 to 12, and that'll be October 3rd. Next, we have a freshman council. You guys got to see 2 of them today. They had their first meeting on Monday. They're getting their committees, and they are really excited to start reaching out to you guys and work on initiatives with you guys, talk to you guys about what their goals are, and hopefully connect on some kind of cohesive goals. And then for comms, we have a newsletter. So if you are planning a event or initiative, or you want to announce something, please fill out that form the Friday before that next week, before 11:59. You can put whatever information you want in there, and you can also select as to how long you want it to stay on the newsletter. So if this is an announcement that you want on there for 5 weeks, you can tell us what date you want it off, and we can take it off then. But this newsletter is going to be emailed to the SG listserv, and it will be sent in the GroupMe as well. With that, I yield my time to questions.
The student body vice president yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Senator Hopkins.
So you guys are going to be getting an email next week just about expectations of being a big. You guys are going to go through a training, but I have that Microsoft form that you filled out. Did you guys fill out the Microsoft form? Does everybody know about the Microsoft form? I can resend it too. We have a lot of people that did sign up. We have 53, which is so different than last year. But we have a lot of mentors. If you're interested in being a mentor, I can resend out the form. You'll be getting a training or an email next week about a training. And then we will have our first mixer, I think, towards mid-October.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. Just want to throw in really fast, also our Senate member of the month, in case y'all weren't at SG Wide, is Senator Jordan Barr. So give him a round of applause. All right, amazing. We are now in line for a report from the student body president. President Patton Byers, you are recognized.
All right. This better? Cool. I'm going to talk first about last Saturday, which is obviously game day. And overall, our Uber discount from this past weekend, we gave out over $5,000 in Uber discounts and over 524 discounted rides. That was within about a 2 to 3 hour time, and I believe the vouchers went out in about 30 minutes. So once again, proving the need for more Uber discounts and transportation accessibility on our campus, and once again, a great initiative that we've been doing and will continue to do for the rest of all the home games this year. Regarding Saturday as well, I have heard some complaints about some of the interactions with law enforcement during the game with it being a little bit heavier than usual. I felt that. I personally experienced it as well, and you might as well. Those concerns will be met, and I will be reaching out to the police chief of USCPD and ensuring that students feel safe when they go into the student section and frankly feel like a student. I'll make sure that that happens, and hopefully next game we'll see some improvement on that end. And hopefully we'll see some improvement with the refs. We'll see. And then Monday, like Speaker Hamilton said, I forgot which one said it. We had a meeting with the provost and the president, with some of our academic student leaders and student government about several things, whether that's the state of online classes or excused mental health days or excused absences in general and the processes that we have in place and syllabi database and amongst some other things. And I think that there will be some action seen from this meeting, and I certainly believe that I have the utmost belief that the president will act on the students' concern, because his student concerns are his concerns that I've noticed that, and he's proven that every single time. Another thing as well, we accidentally passed out all the waters for the game, for the season, but good news, we're getting more waters. So, but the good news is, and I really do mean this, the fact that we still passed out all the waters that were meant for the entire year in one game, and we still ran out before the game started, proves that students want water bottles now more than ever. So the good news is we're going to get those, and we're going to get that renewed very quickly. It was not the only game we're missing is this game because of just like the pure logistics of it, but there will be a ton more that we will have for all the other games. That's great news, and of course proving a bigger advocacy point that this is going to need to happen in the future as well. Courtney and I and several others in student government spoke to the Board of Visitors on important ways we can improve the student experience earlier this morning, and had a really good conversation, whether that was with AI in the classroom or so on and so forth. And the last thing, a member of my cabinet, Ansley Martin, did popsicles with the provost last Friday, where she passed out over 300 popsicles, and every single person who did it did a survey afterwards where they could ask, now do you understand what the Office of the Provost does and how they can help you? And 75% said, yes, I understand that. So that was a positive initiative, and we'll continue to do that as the year goes on. Maybe not popsicles, it might have to be something a little bit more warm as the year goes on, but we'll see. And I'll yield to questions.
The president yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Senator Giddens.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
By casualties, do you injuries? Okay. Okay.
That's a nursing term.
Yeah, I was a little confused there, but yeah. I actually do not know from this game to last. I do know last game with the water bottles in place, there was a significant decrease from years past, oftentimes from the capacity of the game and also how hot it was. That was a significant decrease, but I do not know from Old Dominion to LSU game. But I can ask on that, and I'll get an answer for you. You're good.
Are there any other questions? Oh, Senator Goodrich.
Yes, actually, yes. So the Coach Channer, our athletics director, and Coach Beamer, of course, our head coach, called the SEC officiators as soon as the game ended with some choice words for what happened, and I don't blame them. I probably would have done the same thing. And while there might not be reparation per se for the actions of that game, I think it's safe to say I don't think we'll see those refs anytime soon in Columbia, South Carolina.
Are there any other questions? Vice Chairman Matthews.
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't know why. I'm gonna get the answer for that because I've had students reach out to me. I experienced it myself. There was a larger presence and a different personality presence than I've noticed in the past. So we're gonna get the answer for that and hopefully get to the bottom of that. If I had to guess, just presumingly, it was because of the nature of the game and how excited students were for that. And if I had to guess, that was probably the reason.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. We are now in line for a report from the University of South Carolina's Homecoming Commission. Elizabeth Cole, you are recognized.
Okay, My name's Elizabeth or Ia, whatever you want to call me. I'm the homecoming president here. So just giving y'all some quick updates because we have some really cool stuff that's happening this year that's unique to years past. So we'll start with the big thing. We are reintroducing homecoming court this year for the first time. So you all have the opportunity to run for homecoming king or queen, which is really exciting. I won't say all. You are required to have 2.5 GPA and 60 credit hours. But that application is now live on Garnet Gate, and we really look forward to seeing all of you apply. It's a super fun opportunity. You get a lot of cool perks with it that I'm not going to share just yet. But if you have any questions about it, please feel free to text me, DM me, email me. My email is on the homecomings page on Garnet Gate. But outside of that, a few events that are pretty usual that we have that I would just want to get y'all involved with are Spurs and Struts. That application does go live later this week. I know traditionally people think that this is a heavily Greek ran event, but it is not. It is open to people who are non-Greek as well. So we would love if student government would get a program together to do that. As well as our Paint the Town Garnet and Black Block Party. That is the Friday of the week of events. So we shut down 5 Points. We have a lot of cool, fun things happening. So we'd love for you to just come out. That'll be the day after Halloween. And then we have our NPHC Showcase, which is on Halloween. That as well as Spurs and Struts will both be at the Koger Center. So super fun and unique location. And then finally, we do have our Powder Puff event. I believe student government did have a team for it last year. I would love for y'all to do it again. And it's super fun. There's a lot of cool things that go with it. And then finally, we have banner painting. So I know last year, Freshman Council did banner painting for homecoming, and we would love to continue not only do it with Freshman Council, but to also do it with student government. So please paint some banners. That application, or not application, just the form for it, is now live on our Instagram. So go on there if y'all would like to do it as a Senate. And that is all. I yield the remainder of my time for the speaker. Maura.
Do you mean questions or the well?
Do I have any questions? I yield my question.
She yields her time to questions. Are there any questions for Elizabeth? Seeing none, thank you. In the future, yielding to the well means you won't take any questions or comments. All right, moving on. We are now in line for special orders of the Senate. Are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
Application of Grant Dorzanowski to be seated in the 116th Student Senate.
The nominee is referred to the Powers and Responsibilities Committee. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Senate Powers and Responsibilities Committee requesting a 1-week extension for the following vacant seat interviews. Juan Kersner.
The question is of a 1-week extension of the vacant seat interview. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The extension is granted. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Senate Finance Committee requesting a 1-week extension for the following vacant seat interviews. Matthew McCarthy.
The question is of a 1-week extension of the comptroller interview. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The extension is granted. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Student Body President concerning the appointment and creation of staff position, Director of Constituent Services.
Received. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
Approval of the following committee assignments. Daniel Huang, Judiciary, Student Life, Powers and Responsibilities.
The question is of the approval of committee assignments. All in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The committee assignments are approved. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Speaker of the Student Senate concerning the resignation of Hannah Hoppy from the position of Student Senator.
Received. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read. Seeing no more special orders of the Senate, we are now in the motion period. Are there any motions on the floor at this time? Senator Iftikhar. There's been a motion to remove Senator Iftikhar from the Student Life Committee. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Are there any other motions on the floor? Vice Chairwoman Gay. There's been a motion to remove Chairwoman LaPinta from the Ad Hoc Committee. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Senator Lapsley. There's been a motion to remove Senator Lapsley from the Ad Hoc Committee. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Are there any other motions on the floor? Is there a motion to confirm the nominee of Daniel Hang to the position of student senator? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The nominee is confirmed. Is there a motion to suspend the rules to allow the nominee to be sworn in? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. You can go now. And now you get to like sit amongst the body. Is there a motion to reinstate the rules? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Continuing on with the motion period, are there any motions on the floor? All right. Seeing no more motions, is there a motion to dispense of this motion period? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. We are now on the call of the introduction of new legislation. The clerk will read.
SBL 1169, a recommendation to permit the Finance Committee to allocate funds.
Chairman Wenzel, you are recognized to speak on this legislation.
Hello, everyone. Finance Committee reviewed $23,788.25 this week. With that, we approved that full allocation amount. With that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Chairman Kay? There's been a motion to adopt the recommendation by unanimous consent. Point of information, y'all just have to stay silent unless you have an objection to the motion. Seeing no objections, the recommendation is now adopted. Continuing on with the call of the introduction of new legislation, the clerk will now read. Hearing none, that completes the call of new legislation. We are now on the call of the uncontested calendar. The clerk will read. Seeing none, that completes the call of the uncontested legislation. We are now on the call of contested legislation. The clerk will read. Hearing none, that completes the call of contested legislation. We are now in line for a period of open discussion. Does any senator wish to bring a matter of attention to the body? Amazing. Seeing none. We're now in line for a period of announcements. Are there any announcements from the floor? I will make mine so quick. If you're a delegation chairperson, expect an email from either me or Speaker Pro Tempore Byer in the upcoming week. Please let me know if y'all need anything with game day weekend this weekend. I hope y'all have an amazing time with your family and supporters if they're coming down here. And I hope that I see all of you guys at Black Bonanza. I'm going to be having so much fun in that rage room in my free t-shirt eating some free food. So I don't know about y'all. Are there any other announcements on the floor? I yield my time to questions. All right, with no further announcements, is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? Without objection, the Senate will now stand adjourned until Wednesday, September 25th, 2024.